And we're live.
And we're live! Hi, I'm Sapphy.
And I'm Mystic.
And this is the Lore Together live stream where Mystic forgets what the time is and we start a minute late.
At least the game runs.
The game is running. Our save is open. I can confirm that we can hear ourselves and so far the audio as well. This is Lorena Shepherd. You should love her. And today is going to be a bit of a Chatty Cathy situation, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, if you would like to vote on what Lorena Shepherd's going to do next, who she's going to romance, the choices she'll make in certain missions.
Romance has been picked.
Oh, is that set in stone for real?
Liara is our romance this game.
Okay. So we chose Liara. Thank you, patrons, for choosing Liara. That's a fun one.
But yeah, all future choices stuff will be done by patrons. We discovered something after we stopped filming last time.
Oh, yeah.
Let me switch to gun. They bleed.
I'm so creeped out. I am so creeped out, guys. So creeped out.
Actually, it's not going to be Chatty Cathy. We have to still finish Noveria.
So we got to finish Noveria, and then we're going to chat it up with the rest of the team.
Mm-hmm.
So. I forget. It's so funny because you remember specifically the scene with Arachni, but I feel like replaying Noveria last time, I did not remember how everything looked. I did not remember the feel of Noveria. I forgot that it was supposed to be this sleek, corporate, chic thing going on. So...
Did I forget where I'm supposed to go? Look, there's red dots on the screen.
Possibly. Are there some enemies?
Yes, okay. Elevator to the thing is closed. Now we're going to go through to the hot labs.
Oh, hot labs. Decontamination, I assume?
Alright. Anything to check before we talk to the guy? Doesn't seem to be. Alright.
Are you here to secure the situation?
How are you holding up?
Oh, hey, Everett.
Listen to me. If we do not contain our mistake, they
Hello,
will
Everett.
drop bombs from the battle stations. You understand?
I don't understand anything yet. What were you doing here?
Binary Helix found an egg. It was on a derelict ship, thousands of years drifting. This was Rachni's ship. Inside they find many eggs in cryogenic suspension.
A 1,000-year-old egg hatched?
Yes. Very tough to be so long frozen. That it survived the centuries. This is miraculous. Binary Helix planned to clone Rachni, mass-produce them, create an army. But when they get here, they find this egg is not a common Rachni. It is a queen. After she lays eggs, they move her to Rift Station. They are thinking that without her, they can raise the babies to be obedient.
Hold on. Don't you need a male to get eggs?
Queens are born carrying the genetic code of their fathers. Eggs are carried away from the colony to hatch alone. Queens can lay eggs in hours and have a colony in days. This is how they spread so quickly.
That's a gestation period.
So, like, when they say they carry genetic code of their fathers, is it like that's an option? Or is that...
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, like I get that, like, genetically that's not the weirdest thing per se, but, like, how do you add variety evolutionarily to that? Is it like you lay the egg and if nothing else puts the other male DNA there, you default to the father's genetic code?
I mean, you're still picking random aspects from both. It still has some randomness, but yeah, I see what you're saying. The availability of random genes is very limited.
Yeah, and it's going to be...
I wonder if it can work just by basic mutation. Like,
because even when siblings have... I'm about to get into something really gross, so I probably should stop.
yeah, let's stop.
We're gonna deviate to something unnecessary.
Separating them from their mother didn't work.
This was exactly the wrong thing to do. I am thinking that without a queen, Arachni do not develop properly. Her mind is shaping theirs. These Arachni are uncontrollable.
This is fascinating, but we don't have time to chat.
These Arachni are beyond saving. It is a sad thing, but they must be euthanized. I am thinking that the neutron purge must be set off.
I'm not familiar with the purge system.
It creates bursts of neutron radiation, kills everything within the station. Things beyond get genetic damage of varying degree.
Great.
What the heck? I do not understand.
Once the purge is armed, we'll have to fight our way out. Give us a minute to patch up and rearm.
Sure. I wait here. I am not so much good for searching now, yes? Mother always say I would meet a bad end.
Fun mother.
Seriously?
I'm feeling not so well.
Okay, we know all that already, so.
Once the purge is
Sure. I wait. Mother always say I would meet a bad end.
I hate the cold.
The sooner we are off this frozen world, the better.
I have that in common with Rex and Liara. I too also hate the cold.
Connecting. I have full access to the facility and am at your disposal.
What's the status of the facility?
Containment breach in Laboratory Pod Gamma. The neutron purge system is functional, but has not been armed.
Are there any survivors in here?
Lady Benezia, an executive secretary of Binary Helix, is on the operations deck.
This is outdated.
There are no other living crew members
Oh,
within the
see.
lab structure.
Well, how do you update the system to that? Sorry, I
Fair.
murdered her.
Like to amend your report.
Yeah.
How many Rachni are in here?
I'm sorry, the sensor network is too damaged to provide an accurate count.
I'm gonna refresh something. I want to make sure that our page is working correctly.
Give me your best guess.
Guessing is beyond my design parameters, Commander.
Oh, God.
Okay, we're good.
I need information on the neutron purge.
The neutron purge is a fail-safe system installed within the isolation tube area. In the event of irretrievable containment loss, it is used to resolve the situation.
What exactly does this thing do?
The purge is a neutron burst weapon. 2 volumes of fissionable materials are brought together to form a critical mass. Most of the energy is released in the form of high-speed neutrons. This radiation is instantly lethal to any known form of life within 500 meters.
We would be wise to avoid touching any controls without reading the instructions.
That is advisable for all systems
It's
within this
advisable.
facility.
I mean,
Read instructions.
all right.
Activate the neutron purge.
I'm sorry, but I can't do that without proper code authorization.
Oh, that's...
6 Emperor Tyrann from 3.
That is not the correct code. Please report to security for arrest and interrogation.
You, straight to
Who
jail
would have
right
those
now.
codes?
Director of Operations Yaroslav Tartakovsky, or any executive officer of Binary Helix.
We're moving
Everett
on.
asks, I wonder how
Logging
history
you
would
out,
look back on our
Commander.
assumption about holograms as a common communication device. I don't know. I think there's still some truth to that possibly happening. You would just have to reduce the amount of energy it takes to get those photons into
I
shape.
am feeling not so well.
How do we set off the purge?
Arming controls are nearby. All you do is insert the key. Then I will give Chimera instructions.
Subtitle kind of ruined that.
How did that... Oh my gosh.
What? Apparently he had the codes on him because we just click on his body and we have codes. So.
Yeah, I guess they were like, as long as you click it, that's fine. Evergoes, did no one notice that thing enter the room? Apparently not. We were so wrapped in conversation about the codes.
Online. How can I help you?
Activate the neutron purge.
I'm sorry, but I can't do that without proper code authorization.
Code input 875020079. Code Omega local execution.
Verified. Code Omega execution in 120 seconds.
Do we have to get out of here in 120 seconds?
Yep.
Did not realize we had to go through this, like... I'm surprised you're not using the shotgun.
I am.
That's the shotgun? It didn't look like it. It looked like the assault rifle when I was looking at it. I should know.
Shepard's hurt.
Okay, now it's operating like a shotgun. Okay.
That's the last of them.
Okay, not too close of a call.
I don't know, it took half our time.
It's still not... You had a minute left.
And that's it. We can't even go back to the elevator.
The elevator has been neutralized.
But, like, we can't go back to, like, the civilians, the corporate people, at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not realize that.
Yep.
Did they evacuate?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Did you just kill everyone, including the...
No, we couldn't go down there before we initiated it.
Oh, okay. That was just my concern, is like we've suddenly just assassinated everybody.
We're a Spectre. We're allowed to.
Sure, but it's not suggested. It's not advised. I mean, the council needs better PR than that.
What's our next move, Commander? Head for the Mu Relay?
The Mu Relay could link to dozens of systems. Unless we know exactly where Saren's going, we'd just be wasting our time.
The commander is right. We cannot rush off blind. We still need to learn more about Saren.
Who put you in charge? Did the commander resign when I wasn't looking?
We're all on the same team here, Williams. She's just trying to help.
Sorry, Commander.
Look, this is a tough mission. We're all on edge. Everyone go get some rest. Crew dismissed.
Novaria report is away, Commander. You want me to patch it through to the Council?
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
Is this report accurate, Commander? You found Rachni on Novaria?
And then release the Queen. Do you have any idea what you've done? How many generations until they overrun the galaxy?
Should I guess? I'm sorry. It's so annoying. No, I'm not saying you should do that. It's just hilarious.
Also, like, the Citadel races haven't even mapped the whole galaxy. I think there's a statistic where all the worlds in the Mass Effect universe, like all the worlds that they have been to and mapped, account for less than, I think, 3%.
Of the whole total galaxy?
Yeah.
That makes sense to me, yeah.
So, yeah, for all this guy knows, there's thousands of Rachni eggs out there being worked on by species they've never met.
Hanging out. I mean, like, that's the thing about space. It's so vast, you could never really truly exterminate a race. So.
Well, not a spacefaring one, anyway.
Not a spacefaring race. That's fair. That's fair.
This queen is different. She understands why her kind had to be wiped out last time around.
I hope you're right, Shepard. Our children's children will pay the price if you're not.
We'll be waiting for your next report, Commander.
Our children's children will not be alive if we don't take care of the Saren situation.
Can I level up more charm? Dang it. Come on.
Give me the charm!
We're going to need to get up to the max by the end of the game, and I think fill more of these, too.
Yes, you can get to full Paragon, though.
We have a little bit of Renegade, though, so I'm not 100% sure.
We're a little bit country. We're a little bit rock and roll. Space country. What do we think that sounds like?
No.
Mystic is like, no discussions of music, please. Do we want to see how racist Presley's feeling
Commander.
today?
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
I trust you, Commander. If you think they belong here, then so do I.
Oh, one of those guys.
Carry
All right.
on, Presley.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Joker's closest.
Let's talk to Joker.
You know, for someone in the military, Shepard ran like 30 feet and is already winded.
What?
Yeah, one. Start now.
Maybe she has exercise-induced asthma. Can I tell you how much that stinks? Because it does.
Boy, am I glad to be off of Novaria. I don't know which was worse, the cold or the corporations. One will freeze your balls off, the other will sell them out from under you. With all due respect, Commander.
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet.
All right.
Balances
We've been
and
through
weightings.
this.
The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander.
Tell me about your disease
Lucky
again.
For you, I'm anything but average.
Right.
I have to go.
All right, see you.
I need to listen to you talk about how sick you are every night so I can go to bed.
Oh, God.
That's not our Shepherd.
That's somebody's Shepard.
Yeah, not our Shepherd, though.
Apologies, it is quite dry here.
Oh, man, the heat's on. It's dry.
I don't think we're getting anything new from Chakwas, but I might as well try.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
Nope.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Hey! How you doing?
If you are here to talk about Benezia's death, you need not bother. She brought it upon herself.
Don't pretend it doesn't bother you. She was your mother.
She was. But she was not. I prefer to remember Benezia as she used to be, before she was corrupted by Sovereign's power.
The best of your mother lives on in you. Her determination, her intelligence, her strength.
That is kind of you to say. I appreciate your concern, but I am fine. Benezia chose her path, just as I have chosen mine. I am with you until the end, Shepard.
Did she really choose her path, or wasn't she indoctrinated? Like, that seems to be...
I'm just thinking you have her intelligence, her strength to open a door 4 times during a combat.
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. Sick burn, Mystic.
She was able to use stasis on you and then open a door a few times.
If anything, she was really able to coordinate a dance routine, and that was her whole fight plan, really. Oh, Benezia. We kid because we love Liara and your voice actress.
Benezia herself as a character is fine. It's just, as a boss fight, it's kind of just really hammy.
Yeah, I think it is intentionally hammy too. Like, this is like the space opera-ist.
That's true.
Of the Mass Effect trilogy.
That's true.
You know? And they got more into the RPG. Did you like my... I did not pronounce that right. RPG, like... RPG guy.
Maybe we could pick up where we left off. You were telling me about your interest in the Protheans.
Actually, I think I was talking about my interest in you, and making a fool of myself in the process. As I said, I am not used to dealing with people, especially humans. I did not really know much about your species when we first met, Shepard. I found it hard to take humanity seriously. Your kind always seemed so rushed and high-strung.
We don't have the luxury of time. An Asari can live for 1,000 years. We're lucky if we hit 150.
That is true. At first I thought that was a weakness of your species. After spending time with you and your crew, however, I think it may actually be an advantage. You humans are creatures of action. You pursue your goals with an almost indomitable determination. It is an admirable trait, but also an intimidating one.
Everett goes, RPG? Yeah, I think that's what I actually was saying.
You're scared of us?
Unfortunately, the rest of the galaxy sees humanity as something of a bully. You run over anyone in your path to get what you want. It is up to people like you to change their minds, Shepard.
I'm doing the best I can, Liara.
There is a reason the Council chose you to become a Spectre. They saw something special in you. The best of what humanity has to offer. I looked into your history. I know what happened on Akuz. The fact that you survived shows a remarkable strength.
You didn't need to go behind my back. I would have told you whatever you wanted to know.
I apologize, Commander. After our last conversation, I was afraid I would say something stupid again. I wanted to know more about you, to understand what made you into the woman you are. There is something compelling about you, Shepard.
Are you sure you're interested in me, or is it my visions of the Protheans?
I admit, your connection to the Protheans had something to do with my initial interest, but it has grown beyond that. You intrigue me, Shepard, but I was not sure if it was appropriate to act on my feelings. I thought there might already be a relationship between you and Lieutenant Alenko.
This is a weird option these days.
Whoa, yeah.
I mean, honestly, the option should be there for character reasons to a degree.
And it's like, I think the thing is that this is the character trait that, like, Liara is young, so she's super awkward. And the difference is that because she's awkward for a longer period of time than humans, she just owns it at this point. She's like, I'm super awkward, I'm weird around people, so I did this thing because I'm feeling really awkward and I have this crush on you, but I think you and Alenko have a thing because I don't know humans. Like, it makes narrative sense, but also it feels really
dated.
Really dated. And
it's kind of
like,
this could be handled so much better. Also, it is a problem with BioWare games often, in my view, is this wheel.
Yes.
I get why I don't like it.
Bethesda games have the same thing too, to a certain extent.
They had it in Fallout 4.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Oh, they've kept it in the line.
Yeah.
Because it was all about vague mood in the Fallout 4.
Yeah.
So,
Starfield has full lines again, like Fallout 3 and before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everett goes, I see that they picked up the Star Trek trope of non-humans admiring humans. Yep, that's... And specifically Liara, like, the Turing... Like, Tali doesn't really mention that. Garrus doesn't really mention that. Rex kind of, like, makes fun of humans in the sense of, like, you just haven't been around the block yet.
Yeah, this just feels really weird. Like, I like the way Inquisition handles, Dragon Age Inquisition handles romances better, where it is very blatant when you're hitting or flirting with somebody.
Yes, blatant, absolutely blatant.
Because you have a heart symbol in the middle of the wheel. And you can hit on people who are not going to be with you in the end.
Yes, you can hit on Scout Harding, and Scout Harding's like, no thanks. That's
Yeah.
cute, but nah. No, seriously, please stop.
And characters can hit on you, but that's really hard to do. Usually you're the one initiating in all of these. So this one's kind of trying to balance stuff. Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah, well, we have to, since they voted that we're going to romance Liara, so we have to make sure that door is wide open now.
We're going to do that. So we're shooting down. We had no relation. We haven't said anything to Caden.
Other than like, hey, how is it to have space magic?
Yeah,
like that's
and
the conversation.
what do you think of the crew?
But like, I have this feeling like she doesn't understand humans, so probably because you've worked with Alenko before, he's the one you have the best like Ashley's new. You haven't worked with Tali, you haven't worked with Garrus, you haven't worked with Rex. Yes, you're a commander for the rest of the crew, but you kind of like worked along with Alenko, and you have a trauma bond because of Eden Prime.
Yeah.
So she's misunderstanding that connection.
And not only that, we have to be careful when we talk to Caden from now on.
Oh God, yeah.
To not steer stuff around.
I remember for the brief moment I played. Okay, this is like, sorry for the tangent here, but I remember when I played Knights of the Old Republic. The character that voice actor does too, out of nowhere, will start hitting on you if you're nice to him as well. It's just like it's a BioWare thing. They just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
The lieutenant and I are just friends. Nothing more.
My mistake, then. I am not as adept at understanding human relationships as I thought. But what about us, Shepard? Is there a mutual attraction, or was I wrong about that too?
I've known you for all of a day, but my patrons have voted for you. It's a weird gamification of it.
Yeah. But
no, you were right. There is something between us.
I knew it, and I knew you felt it too. But does this not seem rather strange? Why do I feel so close to you? We have only known each other a short time. We are from two different species. We have almost nothing in common. This makes no sense.
I appreciate that at least they're addressing the elephant in the room. I am hyper attracted to you for no reason other than it feels nice.
Yeah.
These things never make sense. They just happen and we get swept up in the storm.
You make it sound so chaotic, so dangerous.
I'll keep you safe.
I am not looking for a protector. This is all a bit overwhelming. I am not used to this. I need some time.
Take all the time you need, Liara. I'll be here.
Thank you, Shepard. Let's just talk about something else for now.
Let's talk about your dead mother. No.
Jeez! Yeah, what a segue.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Hey, I have the hots for you, but since we're putting that on ice for now, how do you feel about your dead mom?
Do you have some time to talk now, Commander?
Yeah, are you like vacuum sealed in your shirt?
Of course. Have a seat.
We've played it pretty close to the book so far, but we're a long way from backup. We've got some tough calls to make. I'm just saying, try to leave yourself a way out. I've seen what cutting corners can do, and I'd hate to have that happen to you, Shepard. Commander.
Yeah, now we have to be like, how do we make sure we don't accidentally romance Caden? Because we don't want to be the jerk who's...
Right, we're going to play friendly. This is still friendly, I think. This is why I hate wheels.
Or...
That's not the appropriate way to address your commanding officer, Lieutenant.
Sorry, ma'am. Maybe I got a bad signal. And if you're a... Maybe there's someone else you'd rather confide in. Ma'am.
Someone? You're referring to our young Prothean expert.
I think she's older than both of us put together, but, yeah. There's a lower deck rumor that she's interested in you as more than a source of Prothean data. She's a very interesting lady, to my tastes, but I never claimed to be big on alien culture.
You seem awfully worried about my personal affairs.
It's just that we don't have much downtime these days. I like being around you, but I don't want to take up your personal time.
What?
It's like trying to navigate a minefield. I don't remember the order.
This is something we should have actually looked up the actual thing. Before I head out for little buddy, because he's having a bit of, I see we also have the trope of space homosexuality, which is derivative of the trope of space heterosexuality. Apparently, if we ever reach alien life, the first thing we'll run into are female breasts. This is another reason that we need more space fish. Okay, let me take your little buddy. I'll be back. While Mystic navigates this minefield alone. Oh my gosh.
Look, there's nothing between
Dang it!
and me. What's the real issue here, Caden?
You're right. Sorry. It wasn't, Liara's not my main concern. I'm not questioning any decision you've made, Shepard. Let me be clear about that. It's just my experience that once someone lets something slide, it tends to pick up speed. Do you get my meaning?
Alenko, if you have one failure, it's an inability to speak directly.
Sorry. I'm not looking to dump any baggage, Shepard. You know the records about the biotic training out on Jump Zero? They're all classified. Because the Alliance made mistakes. After first contact, Kinetics was set up to track Element Zero exposures and develop implants for humans. Once we had an embassy on the Citadel, Kinetics could bring in experts instead of taking it slow.
I'm sure Kinetics did what they thought was best.
It wasn't best for us. They brought in an ex-military Turian named Commander Vernus. To introduce himself, he liked to say, "I was at the helm of the dreadnought that killed your father." Well, I told him my dad wasn't in the war. He'd retired to Vancouver. My family had an inland home that matured to New Beachfront. Vernus had it in for me after that. He cut corners, pushed hard. I mean, you either came out a Superman or a wreck. A lot of kids snapped. A few died.
Oh no, he's shaking his head.
I guess, is that when you cut corners, it's not always obvious who pays for it.
So why are you telling me this? Are you saying I'm cutting corners somewhere?
I'm saying it's probably inevitable that we'll have to, and when that happens, I want to help you. When someone important to you is up on a ledge, you help them. Keep them from mistakes better made by a kid.
So you think you have leave to talk like we're more than officers?
I got some signals. Maybe some static too, I guess. If I'm out of line, just say the word.
Sorry, Caden. This was just a battlefield thing.
There's my answer then. I'm sorry to have bothered you, Commander. I got some mixed signals. With your permission, I should return to my duties.
Back to Liara.
Awkward. Yeah, I love how in these games you could just accidentally fall on somebody's crotch like that. It's just crazy.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
I just wanted to talk.
Of course, Shepard. What did you want to talk about?
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
So...
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Worst comes to worst, I'll go through and edit the save file.
I think you turned down Caden.
Yes, but I told him there's nothing between me and Liara by accident because I misread what the dialogue wheel was telling me.
Yeah, we might have to fix that later.
We'll figure it out.
We'll fix it in post, guys. It's fine.
On to more interesting people.
Commander, how are you?
Really? Nothing?
Why did you want to be a CSEC officer in the first place?
That's a good question.
Did we ask this already?
There were several reasons, I guess.
Like what?
I don't think so.
Probably the same as most officers. I wanted to fight injustice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it too. He was CSEC, one of the best. I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
That's tough. But you'd think he'd be impressed you're going after Saren.
My father's a CSEC man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren. He actually talked me out of becoming a Spectre when I was younger, for the same reasons.
You were asked to be a Spectre?
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate. Me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it. He despises the Spectres. He hates the idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability. He wouldn't like you, Commander. No offense.
I suppose I can understand his concern.
You can. But Saren's not going to play by our rules, CSEC's rules. If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
Just because you can break the rules doesn't mean you should. I don't need to stoop to Saren's level to stop him. And neither do you, Garrus.
I see what you mean, but I'll think about it. Thanks, Commander.
Everett says, I hope my prior comments made sense. My point is that if Liara looked like a pufferfish, the designers wouldn't have included those conversations. I'm gonna say not true, actually.
L-Core companion, L-Core romance option in the next game. Do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a pufferfish.
It's the only non-alien that sprung to mind. Obviously,
Hanar.
Volus would be funny.
How do you...
That's why it would be funny.
That would just... Physics says no. At least with, like...
Well, physics says no when it comes to actual, like, copulation, but that doesn't mean you can't have a relationship with a character.
Yeah, you could. You could. You totally could. That's right.
Alright, how you doing, Space Racist?
Commander?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
You mean the Rachni, right? They were dangerous, Commander. They proved that 2,000 years ago. I think it was a mistake to let them go. But that wasn't my call to make. It was yours. You know, you really should talk to T'Soni about her mom. She has to be hurting. Just saying, Commander.
It's interesting that you can ask certain characters, like there's no continuity in how you ask characters about the recent mission. They either tell you outright, you have to pick an option, but the option changes per character. Like Caden has like, how are we doing? But it's in a different spot on the wheel.
Yeah, it's kind of bizarre.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
Sure. I was just watching some mail from home.
Oh, before I go, we saw Caden in a news vid about the Normandy. He's cute. Later, sis.
Let's
pretend this never happened.
Are you interested in the lieutenant, Chief?
Fraternization is against regulations, ma'am. Don't ask, don't tell. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on family mail.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
Did your father serve with the fleet?
Yeah, took any crap posting he could get that offered space time. You know what? He worked his ass off trying to get recognized, but he never made it above serviceman 3rd class. He was real proud when I made Chief. First thing he did was salute.
What about your mother? You haven't mentioned her.
You must know what military wives are like. Strong because they have to be, able to raise kids while dad's away on a 6-month cruise. She has a degree in planetary geology. She and Dad both wanted to see new worlds. She gave up her career to raise us, though.
You have more than one sister? Sounds like a big family.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, then Abby, then Lynn. Sarah's the youngest. She's still in high school. With 4 girls, Dad used to say he felt more outnumbered at home than on maneuvers.
After helping raise them, your sisters still talk to you? Amazing.
Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a boyfriend who wanted to go faster than she did, Mike. I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vid mails, and I'd tell her to relax.
Where were you when this was going on?
I was on active duty. Sarah's graduating high school this year. This was only a couple of years back. They were on Amaterasu. At the time, I was assigned to Chernobog. Same cluster, but a dozen Hellwire away. Close enough to talk regularly, too far to make it back in an emergency. I couldn't afford a fast packet flight.
If he really liked her, he wouldn't be pushy.
Yeah, of course. If he didn't ask at all, I'd wonder if he thought Sarah was ugly. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods, because he figured it was past time they did the deed. She levered Mike face first into a tree and left. Didn't have a scratch on her. Good thing Mom and Dad had us all learn some kind of self-defense. I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
Yikes.
Why didn't you tell the police?
She said it wouldn't solve the real problem, and she and Mike would both become household names. It was a small colony. I said it was her call to make, that we should let her do it her way. Mom was pretty pissed about that.
You said all of your sisters learned self-defense?
Lynn did pistol practice, but didn't like it. She's kind of nervous. Sarah took Aikido. Abby decided to learn the sword. She always was a little weird. Likes big skirts and tops you have to tie her into. They do great things to her figure, though.
So, what did you learn?
One of Dad's friends taught me Marine hand-to-hand.
You traveled all the way home to walk your sister to school.
It was only a dozen light years, like a day's cruise. It's not like I was going to Earth or something. My last day out, Mike was waiting for us. Sarah had told her friends, so everyone at school knew what he did. He wasn't happy. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look, this let me handle it, I need to do this alone look. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
That's unbelievable. Sarah must be as good as you.
Better. I'm more or less a straight-up puncher. When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance. She told the paramedics he fell. Before they took him to the hospital, Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was gonna end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying. And she hugged him. The Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready. Not before, not after.
Okay. The fact that she was still close enough to let this guy touch her after all that bothers me. But I guess she was feeling super confident, and that's part of the story. But, man, I don't know. Also, you shouldn't feel like you need to apologize to somebody
Your
who tries
sister's
to do that
something
to you.
else. But you didn't mention your father at all. Was he on deployment?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I've enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
Mystic just rolled his eyes so hard he might have lost him in his skull.
Bored now.
Oh my god. I never thought I'd hear you reciting poetry.
Just because I can drill you between the eyes at 100 meters doesn't mean I can't like sensitive stuff. Just don't spread it around. Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had a dozen versions when he retired.
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home. Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though.
Oh.
I forgot this conversation went there.
This is such a roller coaster. I feel like I just passed an egg.
Wherever we go after death.
Dead on, Skipper. He's with God now. That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
Yeah, let's just be totally mean. Keep it to yourself. No,
I love how the other option is, are you a fanatic?
Can I clarify? Like, how dedicated you are to making revelations happen during your lifetime? Like, can we clear that one up?
Let's just go with of course not. Let's just play it.
Play it cool.
Everyone has the right to believe what they want. Says so in the Alliance Charter, only with fancier words.
I'm glad you're open-minded about it. I've met a few people who are really weirded out by my faith. Because I work in space, I can't believe in a higher power? Jeez. Hello, have you people looked out the window? How can you look at this galaxy and not believe in something? I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
Everett goes, are monotheists a minority? Possibly, like, because I think this kind of leans toward the idea that humanity at least goes towards secularism overall.
So they talk about this in the first book, Revelation, right? Where it's actually near the beginning of the thing too. In fact, I could go pull up the book if I wanted to quote it. But long story short, the fact that aliens existed, like verifiably exist, and are not included in a religion's dogma, drastically reduces the people who believe in a specific denomination or whatever. So
specific faith.
What usually ended up happening is a lot of the major religions either went really hardcore denial of the verifiable truth, or worked to actually retcon their own canons to include
and if you read certain texts, there's stuff where you can think that I've literally had family members who tell me that they thought certain figures mentioned in the Bible were aliens, like certain descriptions of angels. And I can understand leaning towards that and being like, hey, it's possible within that framework once you live in a world where aliens exist.
Yeah, there's a new religion that kind of crops up in the wake of the discovery of the Prothean ruins called the Interventionists, which basically means that gods, as we have worshipped them for human history, don't really exist. They were really Protheans or, other like beings visiting us.
Yeah.
So the fact that she believes in a Christian God is not unheard of. It's not whatever, but certainly a religious belief of the type that we have today is certainly a minority viewpoint amongst humans.
And again, we're assuming that her version of Christianity is modified to accept the vastness of space, the diversity of space life, and things like that. Everett goes, I guess they didn't read C.S. Lewis. Possibly not. But I mean, like, also, you can always read old stories and just be like, isn't it interesting? They thought this was true. Like, there were times where people thought they saw cities on Mars. That's obviously not true, but it's interesting.
I think the Alliance itself kind of takes itself more along the Trekkian view of, at the most, gods are aliens.
Yeah.
they are not supernatural beyond the fact that they are aliens.
It's just that our science hasn't explained them or found them yet.
Yeah. So that's my view on how religions have changed in the Mass Effect universe from our current day.
Right. So...
Oh, no. I just walked right past Rex.
How dare you?
He kind of blended in with the lockers a little bit on my peripheral vision.
Don't ignore my lizard boy.
So, we've got Saren on the run.
It won't be long now. Saren's good, but I'm better.
Good. He's rotten. To the core. I could tell as soon as I met him.
Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
I would have if I thought it was important.
I think I'd like to hear about it just the same.
This was a while ago. A bunch of mercs were bragging about a job out near the edges of the Terminus systems. They said it paid well and the boss was never around to ride them. They said he was looking for more men, too. So I checked it out.
I didn't know Saren was openly recruiting mercs.
It wasn't that open, and he only showed his face once. We'd been raiding ships in the area for months when we took out this massive cargo freighter. Our biggest haul yet. I was on board checking bodies for valuables, looking for some extra credits. That's when I saw him.
What did Saren want with the ship?
I don't know what he wanted. He was just moving through the ship, watching. A couple of the mercs called him by name, but he never spoke to them. Never spoke to anyone. I had a really bad feeling about him, so I got the hell out. Didn't even wait to get paid.
Everett goes, I definitely don't believe in an all-powerful designer god. Oh, hi, Q.
Right. Q, yeah. Q definitely is a problem. If you're going to I mean, generally speaking, there's a reason that Q is unique, unless you bring in someone like Trelane or Kevin.
Token Blackman 7 says, is this the affected mass? Oh, Kila, how do I enjoy the story of the shepherd?
By screwing up your romance options, because we totally misspoke to Caden about Liara and maybe shot that down, so we have to work on that.
We'll figure it out. But also the story of the shepherd is very much.
Yes. That is, oh geez.
You never figured that out?
No, I know the story of the shepherd, and I know the reference to the third game.
Yes. Also...
And the fact that the voice actor for the old guy in that scene is awesome.
What kind of cargo was the freighter carrying? What was Saren after?
I don't know. All I saw on that ship was food and medical supplies. There were some basic weapons, but nothing big. If there was anything of value on that ship, I didn't see it. That's why I didn't mention it sooner.
Ever goes, or Charlie X, or the Orgonians, or that lava blob that creates Lincoln. Yes, no, all of those things.
TOS is kind of cheating, though.
Yeah. I was also going to just, to piggyback on Token's comment, we also have to mention that Shepard is specifically referencing Shepard, the first American in space.
Yes, Alan Shepard.
Alan Shepard in particular. That's why the spelling matches his. Like, if I ever misspell it in our socials, my apologies. But, like, that's the Shepard that they're referencing with our Shepard here.
Whose ship was it?
There was a Volus trading vessel. Big one. Lots of guards. But they were no match for us.
That's the only time you saw him?
Yeah. Didn't even know who he was. Still wouldn't if I hadn't joined up with you. But my instincts were right. Every other merc on that mission turned up dead within a week. Every damn one.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tally? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for talent, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it.
I think we already did this.
Dreadnoughts and carriers, right down to frigates like the Normandy.
Yeah, I don't remember if we did.
My last assignment was on the Tokyo. Only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Everett goes, I think in my headcanon the huge awkward pauses between comments actually occur.
Oh, hello, Shepard.
Are you okay?
I don't know. Your ship is amazing, and your crew's been really great to me, especially your chief engineer. But I just sort of feel out of place. The Normandy runs so smooth it feels like we're not even moving, and the engines are so quiet. How do you sleep at night?
The silence wakes you up?
Back on the flotilla, the last thing you want to hear is silence. It means an engine's died or an air filter shut down. I guess you don't have to worry about that here. But old habits die hard. But it's more than just the silence. This ship feels so empty. It's like half the crew is missing. Back home, I couldn't wait to go on my pilgrimage. I couldn't wait to get away from the crowds. Now that I'm out here, I kind of miss them.
Sometimes we don't appreciate what we have till it's gone.
That's true. I'm starting to wonder if that's what the pilgrimage is really about. It's given me a whole new perspective on my people and our culture. You know, there's always a few who go on their pilgrimages and never return. I always assumed something bad happened to them. But maybe they just wanted a different life.
You do plan to return to the migrant fleet, right?
I could never abandon my people, Shepard. I will go back eventually. But we have to stop Saren first. Otherwise, I might not have a home to go back to.
I think we've covered all of this.
I think so too. Mystic, though, I'm not able to see the
I
playback
should go.
really easy. I think something happened with
See
her.
you later.
It says we're connected, but like, I wasn't able to refresh it. And I'm not able to see. I will see what's going on.
Oh, we forgot to hardline it.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
The Wi-Fi is being silly. If I hardline it now, will it correct without messing up the stream?
I don't think there's anyone else to talk to. I'm gonna double check. And I'm gonna give one more shot at talking to Liara about her mother.
I'm just glad that this thing can continue while I'm...
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Okay.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
We're
Benezia was swept up in events beyond her control and lost herself. She fell under the spell of indoctrination and became part of the very thing she wanted to stop. But I will remember and honor how she lived, not how she died. My mother was strong, kind, and beautiful. And now she is gone.
Are you gonna be okay?
You are kind to ask, Shepard. I do miss her, and I grieve for what happened to her. But I will not let my grief interfere with what we are trying to accomplish.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Okay, so sorry that, like, there was a delay with that. I don't know if you guys had any video issues. Everett also said for headcanon, whenever you walk up to someone, just say I should go, the other person concludes you have dementia. I would like to just say just forgetful or spacey. And Token then says Tally is Bay, which I concur, Tally is Bay. But I also, like, around the time this game was super popular, there was a lot of misinterpretation of Tally's character. And I think conflating some of her traits with some of Liara's traits. Where Liara is very specifically the adorkable Bay.
Yeah, God, this is so small compared to the other games.
What?
This is such a small room compared to the other games. Also, what is with this bed? Look at this.
What?
It's just two twin beds next to each other.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why you need that Cerberus money, man. Like...
Shh. Spoilers.
Oh. I mean, it's still that's still correct even before you know that. So anyway,
I'm gonna head back to the Citadel, and then we'll figure out where to go from there with our patrons.
Sounds good.
Good timing, Commander. We got a transmission coming in from the Citadel. Top priority clearance.
Oh.
Is it the ambassador?
It's not his signature. I think it's from the council. I'll patch it through to the comm room.
Oh, this is probably a good place to end.
Okay. Let's go talk. No, we'll do that next time, actually.
Oh, really?
You want to go talk? Okay, we'll go talk.
I think let's end it on that, personally.
I just don't remember if it jumps you into the mission or not, if this is what I think it is.
Commander Shepard, we've received information that may be critical to your mission against Saren.
I'll take all the help I can get.
We've received an urgent message from one of our infiltration regiments in the Traverse.
You mean spies?
Spectres tend to attract attention, Commander. But they are only one arm of the Council. Special task groups are often a better option for monitoring developing situations.
We currently have several infiltration units scattered throughout the border regions of Citadel space. This particular unit was gathering intel on Saren.
What did they find?
Unfortunately, the message we received was little more than static. The infiltration team must be in a situation where they can't set up proper interstellar communications. But the message was sent on a channel reserved for mission-critical communications. Whatever they were trying to tell us, we know it was important. Considering your interest in Saren, we thought you might want to investigate this. Find out what happened to our team. The signal originated from the planet Vermeer.
I'll look into it.
The Council prefers not to become involved in the specifics of Spectre activities. We only want you to be aware of all your options, including Vermeer. Good luck, Commander Shepard. We will keep you advised if we learn anything else.
And just like that, our patrons have another thing to choose from.
Oh, man. All right. So what are they choosing from again, Mystic? Let's just review quickly.
Well, let's look at our journal.
Let's review.
We have a ton of anomalous things. We have the Biotic Commune. We're going to annoy all these UNC... we're going to ignore all these UNC things. Oh,
okay.
Nope. We got this one. This is Cerberus related. We have that one.
We got to do Cerberus related stuff for sure.
There's a hostage. I'm not worried about artifacts, writings, diplomacy. I don't think.
I'm going to refresh this.
Oh, no. Diplomacy. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We just have a ton of, like, side quests to do as well.
Okay.
And then we also have Pharos. What is Race Against Time? Find the Conduit. That's our main, so I'm not worried about that one.
Right.
So we have Pharos, Vermeer, and also on the galaxy map.
Don't work up her asthma now. Come on.
We also have X-57.
Yes.
So we have a ton of side quests to go do. We have Cerberus stuff to do. We have other lore-related side quest stuff to do. Then we have Pharos, Vermeer, and X-57.
We got a lot, guys. So patrons get to vote. Patreon.
I may do a poll of
together.
main mission, side mission, and then depending on which one it is, I'll do a second poll.
Okay.
For choosing, because otherwise that's just way too many options to get a clear read on
who wants to do what.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
Get out
of that,
patrons. We look forward to your choices, and we will catch you next week. We don't have our
episode is still being edited, but we will be doing the game from our episode that's going up tomorrow for patrons, and then Saturday I'll just tell you what it is. We are going to a GameCube game called Geist for our next episode.
It's a pretty crazy game.
Yeah.
But it's very appropriate for spooky season, so we hope you like it.
But that'll be next week, so thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time, guys.
Have a good week.
Bye.